All right, hello, I'm back again. It's Alex from the Air Zoo here, and today we're going to be talking about a nice, fun physics toy that I started learning when I was in high school. I spent a lot of time with this, and it's a ton of fun if you can get used to it and get some of the tricks down. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this here is a yo-yo. If you've ever played with a yo-yo, they're a ton of fun. So our yo-yo uses some nice physics. Gravity is one of them, centrifugal force is another one. But before we get into some of that, we got to talk about just some of the basics so we can even use it. So you'll notice that when you get your yo-yo here, you get a nice long string with your yo-yo on the other end, which a yo-yo is just two weighted parts with an axle that that spins on your string. Now, what we're going to do before we do anything is you'll notice that there's a nice loop here at the top for your finger. Now, we can actually do a little bit something to make this easier because this loop is usually one size, and you'll notice my finger has a hard time fitting in that loop. But if you take that loop, you can actually put some string from farther down your string, and you can feed some of it through there. And you notice now my loop is wrapped around my string, and then when I put my finger in here and I let it go, it'll just tighten right to my finger. And that's really helpful because now my yo-yo won't come off my finger. That's really important. Now that we've got it on our finger, the next step is to wind our yo-yo up. So you'll notice that if I just kind of take this and I just keep winding, nothing is really happening. My hand's just kind of going around my yo-yo. And that's because my yo-yo is meant to spin. So if we want to get our yo-yo to wind up, we can do a neat trick where you just take your finger here and you wrap once around your finger, and then if you start wrapping, you'll notice I'm wrapping all my string up now. And then once you get to here, you can kind of take your finger out and your yo-yo is now ready to use. Now, before we do anything, let's get our yo-yo to go somewhere. Now, we want our yo-yo to go down before it can come back up. So the easiest way to do that is to just let gravity assist us and just kind of drop it. And you notice my yo-yo will go to the bottom of the string and just kind of spin there until it stops. And we'll go ahead and let it stop. And so from here, we can wind it back up again. So we'll quickly wind our yo-yo back up. And now, instead of dropping it, you can actually do something that'll get your yo-yo to spin a lot faster and allow you to do some more tricks with it. So what you can do is instead of having your yo-yo on the bottom side of your hand, you actually flip your hand over, your yo-yo's on the top. Now, it is important that your string comes off of the top half of the yo-yo. You'll notice I have my yo-yo here, my string's coming off the bottom half. You want the yo-yo or the string coming off the top half of the yo-yo, and you can kind of hold it onto your hand like this and wrap the rest of your fingers around it. And then when you bring your arm up and throw it down, you'll let that yo-yo kind of roll off your hand. And when you do it right, you'll get your yo-yo spinning a lot faster. Now that it's spinning here on the bottom of the string, there's actually a trick we'll talk about later called a sleeper. But if you take your hand and you bounce it up, what's going to happen is you're going to cause just a little bit of slack to kind of go into your string. And your string is going to get not so tight. And that little bit of slack here is going to get pinched inside of that yo-yo, and that yo-yo is going to wind back up. And that's kind of how you get your yo-yo to do your normal yo-yoing, is just going up and down. It's just by getting it to the bottom and bouncing your hand up, and it will come on back. So from there, we can go on to learn some of our tricks. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is very simple. We actually just did it a little bit ago, and that's just getting your yo-yo to sleep. And you'll notice, you'll notice that the yo-yo will just sit on the bottom of the string and just spin there. That is because the yo-yo has so much force. It's just sitting there, and then when we want it to come back, you bounce your hand and it'll come on back. Now, there's two more fun tricks. You probably have heard of them. The first one is called Around the World. It looks a little bit like this, and you can go your yo-yo all the way around and get it to come back to your hand. Now, just like throwing your yo-yo, remember we had to throw our yo-yo like this to get it to go a lot faster. What you're going to do is you're actually going to start upside down like we did with our drop. But instead of going this way with your yo-yo, you're actually going to swing your arm back and swing forward. And as you swing forward, your yo-yo is going to come off your hand and go straight out in front of you. And from here, you can actually just yo-yo straight out in front of you like this. But if you let it keep going, it'll go all the way around, and then you can get it to come back to your hand. And now one last trick that's a lot of fun is called Walk the Dog. And that one looks just like this. So you get your yo-yo to sleep, and then if you gently touch it to the floor, it'll start to roll away from you. Now you gotta be careful how long you let it touch the floor, because friction will get your yo-yo to stop spinning. So if you wanna get your yo-yo to do it, you gotta throw really hard, and we'll just let it slowly touch the ground. And we're almost there. We'll do it one more time just to see if I can get it to come back to my hand. And just like that, you get your yo-yo to come back. So if you guys want to, keep looking around. There's lots and lots of trick videos out there. You can learn yo-yo tricks for every day of the week, I promise. I've done it for lots of years, and there are tons of them. So hope you guys have a great time with your yo-yos. Have a good rest of your day.